Let's talk about summarizing and paraphrasing. Basically, these two things are both ways of getting information from a secondary source and putting it into your paper without plagiarizing. And the difference between summarizing and paraphrasing doesn't matter that much, but there is a difference. So, a summary, as you probably know, is kind of like your short commentary on what a whole piece means. So if somebody says, summarize your favorite book, you're not going to go page by page. You're going to give them the major ideas of what happens, and you're going to leave some stuff out. Paraphrasing is what we do when we want to find other ways to get the same point across, but it's just a shorter chunk. Maybe it's one sentence, maybe it's four sentences, but we are finding another way, finding another way of saying the same kind of phrase. So let's look at these two things. When would you summarize something and how are you going to do it? So a summary is going to be necessary when you just want to get the bird's eye view of the major ideas of something. And one example of this is pretty clear. As we all were, I was a little obsessed with the Tiger King this summer. And this is an article that from the New York Times. So it's a popular, credible source. It means it's not academic. It's not written for professionals by professionals. And here's the text of the article. It's a ton of short paragraphs. But you find right here at the very beginning, there is a summary of it. It gives you a summary of the major ideas of the article. And so it says the former zookeeper Noah's Joe Exotic filed a lawsuit. Carol Baskin, who runs it, condemned how the series handled her husband's disappearance, and activists pushed for new wildlife protections. So basically, these are the three main ideas that come out of this entire article. In other words, it's a summary of the article. So that's pretty straightforward, and I'm sure that you guys at least have a general idea of how to do that. However, if we go on and talk about paraphrasing, it gets a little bit more complicated. So why do we do paraphrasing? Well, it's because we want to cut down on quoting. You are going to, just like you used the quotes and the paraphrases from your interviewees in your essay, you need to use information from your secondary sources in your essay, but you don't need to just put a million quotes in there. You still need to use your words. So how do we do this? Well, the method is to look away. And it seems simple, but we'll talk about it a little bit more. So in other words, you read a passage that you say, oh, I need this information to put into my essay, but I can't use these same words in these exact same ways. So I am going to read it, understand it, then put it away, look away from it, and try to say similar things with different words. So I want you guys to practice this. Literally, you're going to push pause in this video. So here is a sentence that comes from the article we are looking at. His story has also given new energy to animal rights activists who say the documentary chose to sensationalize feuds and missed an opportunity to expose cruelty at roadside zoos. So pause this, maybe read it one more time, look away, and then write your version of it. Then come back to the video. Okay, you're back. So here is my first attempt. I did this. I looked away and I wrote what I thought the sentence meant, but I tried to use different words. And what I said was, the documentary about Joe Exotic's life has energized groups concerned with animal rights. These groups believe that the documentary failed to highlight animal abuse and instead focused on the dramatic spectacle of Exotic's history. Well, that's not good enough because I looked back and I saw that my version had this word energy. And it seems simple, but it's me stealing the unique phrasing, the unique words of another person. So I decided to change it. And I said reinvigorated. And it sort of has that same kind of idea, but it doesn't use the same word. And that is what you guys are going to be doing for your homework. So in other words, I'm going to ask you to pick some passages. use the look away method and show me, and then I am going to give you feedback. I'm going to say, I like how you did this, but I don't like how you did this. So you're going to practice this so that you're going to be good at it whenever you end up doing it in your paper, and you won't be committing plagiarism.